Right now, as you watch this video, 21% of the world's oil cannot move. Ships are turning back. Countries are rationing fuel. And most people watching the news have absolutely no idea how serious this already is. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what happens to oil prices, to food prices, to your economy, if this does not stop. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow waterway, just 33 miles wide at its narrowest point, sitting between Iran and Oman. Pause. It doesn't look like much on a map, but through that tiny stretch of ocean flows 21 million barrels of oil every single day. Pause. That's roughly 1/5 of all the oil the world consumes. Pause. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, Iraq, all of their oil exports pass through here. There is no easy alternative route. Pause. If Hormuz closes, the world's energy supply gets choked overnight. Pause. And right now, it's effectively closed. Here's the timeline. Earlier this year, the United States and Israel conducted strikes on 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. Iran's response was immediate and calculated. Ballistic missiles were launched. And then came the move that economists had feared for decades. Iran began restricting commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. What happened next shocked energy markets. Qatar lost 17% of its LNG capacity, potentially for 5 years. 50% of global polyethylene supply vanished. Countries like South Korea and Slovenia began fuel rationing within weeks. Let's talk about what this means for you. Not for governments, not for oil companies, for you. When supply from the Gulf is disrupted, oil prices spike. Analysts are talking about oil hitting $150, $180, even $200 a barrel. And oil isn't just gasoline. Oil is fertilizer. Oil is transportation. Oil is the cost of shipping every product from factory to store. When oil doubles, grocery prices follow within weeks. Heating bills follow. Airline tickets follow. Half of the world's polyethylene comes from Gulf producers. No polyethylene means supply chain disruptions that hit hospitals, food packaging, and consumer electronics simultaneously. This is where it gets really dangerous. Foreign central banks currently hold $9.4 trillion in US Treasury bonds. When these countries need dollars urgently to buy oil, they sell treasuries. Pause. But here's the problem. America has $36 trillion in national debt. That debt only stays manageable if interest rates stay low. When foreign central banks dump treasuries, yields rise. The critical threshold is 4.4%. Beyond that, the interest payments on America's debt start compounding in a way that becomes very, very hard to control. We're watching that threshold approach right now. Meanwhile, Iran has already started charging passage fees in yuan and cryptocurrency, not dollars. If oil stops being priced in dollars, the dollar loses its reserve currency status, and that changes everything. So where does this leave us? Analysts say America is staring at 2 doors, and both of them are bad. Door 1, stay. Keep military pressure on Iran. The problem, every week, foreign central banks keep selling treasuries. Yields keep rising. America's debt spiral gets worse. Door 2, leave. Allow Iran to declare victory. Reopen the strait. The problem, Iran consolidates power. It sets a precedent, and the petrodollar takes a hit from a different direction. There is a third path, a negotiated settlement. But as of today, nobody knows if that path exists. What I can tell you is this. The next few weeks will determine whether this becomes a temporary crisis or a permanent reshaping of the global economic order. Pause. And I'll be covering every development here. If you want to understand what happens next, subscribe. Because this story is far from over.